Car companies are having a tough go this year. Yes, all of them. Oh, wait, not all of them. Some of them are actually up year over year, and some of them are down. But which ones are which? And would you believe it's the old guard who is faltering? I'm Brian. Welcome to Future Asa. Got my good buddy Herbert here to talk with me about things that require a bright mind. Brighter with Herbert is where you guys can go to get a little bit smarter. Not too smart. I don't want you showing off, but you can, just get a little smarter.
I go to Future Asa to get smarter, then I share that with my audience.
It works because it works. It just works. So, I don't know if you heard, everybody's down. Everybody is down. Turns out Xiaopeng, not down. They had a bit of a dip, but best quarter ever. That's pretty good. Quarterly deliveries up.
Yeah, they introduced a new vehicle, and that seemed to have, resonated with the consumer, and they bought it. So the question is whether or not this was kind of just this sugar high, brand new vehicle. They're excited about it. They want to buy it. Or this is going to, really take them off.
Would you believe 5 Chinese EV makers set monthly sales record as discounts draw young buyers? Now, BYD is on this list, even though they're really accelerating hybrids. But Li Auto, Xiaopeng, Zeekr, and Leap Motors are pushing more in the BEV direction, and all of them are doing quite well. BYD, the world's largest electric car assembler, I think we should say electrified car assembler, shipped almost 500,000 EVs in September. Now, again, that's not EVs. That certainly includes hybrids, charting 12.4% month-on-month growth, 45% year over year. Li Auto, Tesla's nearest rival in mainland China. Okay, I'm a little confused by this. This is I would have thought BYD was sold 53,000.
I think they're talking about the segment of the cars. But
okay,
it's going to be Zeekr.
I gotcha.
Zeekr is really the only one that's selling at the exact same pricing as Tesla's Model Y.
Well, let's look at Zeekr. The premium EV maker controlled by Geely delivered 21,000, up 18% month on month, 77% year on year, besting its June record by 6%. Stellantis-backed startup Leap Motors broke its August record with 33,000 cars a day. That's fantastic. And NIO sold 21,000 at a loss. But they are moving units. What's China doing different?
Well, I think what's happened in the last month, I don't know exact timing, but the economy has been struggling, right? And so you can see how every car manufacturer was just falling, just crashing. Then you see it rising, because Tesla or China's government did some massive, just back to money flowing. They're just throwing money, printing the money printer. They needed to, it's kind of scary what they're trying to do. They had deflation, and deflation is something that it's even worse than inflation. They were doing the opposite of what was happening in the Western world, and they don't know if this is the right word, panic, but they are putting some heavy hitting of money, throwing at this to try to solve the problem. And I don't know if that's good news or bad news. It might mean that there's something so seriously wrong that they have started to put unprecedented number of, dollars or I guess not dollars, but currency, or renminbi to at it. So, so this is good. They need to revive the economy, and maybe this is what's happening.
I don't know how many people know what RMB stands for. Good job. Yeah. Well, yeah, you said it right. GM reports 2.2% decrease in third quarter sales, but EVs make gains. This morning I talked to Matt Smith about this and said, great, they're selling a lot more EVs. Are they selling them at a profit? And he said, I don't think so. And I'd be inclined to agree with Matt on that. But they are selling a lot more. In the EVs, 32,000 units for the quarter, 10,000 a month. It's 300 a day. That's not great, but I'll take it. GM forecasts its market share was 9.5% of the U.S. EV market. Maybe, but their overall sales are down. So you guys, you can sell cars. People will buy them if they're electric and if they're priced right. You just have to, figure out how to make a profit on them.
Yeah.
Crying out loud.
This is the disconnect, right? The story was, and you heard it from all the legacy automakers in the last 6 months, they were saying that nobody wants to buy electric vehicles. We need to go back to selling our auto. We're going to reduce our factories. We're going to reduce our sales and forecast for what we're going to be able to sell in electric vehicles. And that's what was the narrative. EVs, nobody wants to buy them.
Nobody
Demand
wants
is falling. It's falling. That's not true. You can see here what's happening is EV sales is still on track for the exponential curve up. It's just that because of the economy, interest rates, and the average price of the EV sold in the US is so high, like I think it's $10,000 higher. I heard recently that it's $10,000 higher than it was pre-COVID days. Like it's like $44,000. It's ridiculously high because there is actually no EV sold in the US that is considered to be lower cost. Now, that's why when you see other countries where they have a lot of lower cost electric vehicles, they're like China, their EV sales is significantly high. It's about affordability. And unfortunately, none of these legacy automakers are able to create an electric vehicle with profits. So you just mentioned it, right? It's profitability is their issue. And so then what do? We can't keep losing money because we can't make profit, but it's the thing that people want to buy. I'm going to dial that down. I'm not going to make as many EVs. I'm going to try to fool everybody and make hybrids, call them electric, and sell that for now. Try to survive through this period. And so why are they seeing EV sales go up? Because the demand is there, but they're falling in terms of their overall sales. Gas is going to go down, and they're struggling as they're trying to make this transition. So that's the story. My opinion of what's happening.
I think you're on the money there. People don't want EVs. No, they don't want your EVs at the price you're selling them for. Look what happens when you reduce the price down to parity with your gas cars. They sell quick. They sell like flapjacks.
Now,
like
GM, I
hotcakes
think
anyway.
it was GM, right? That they didn't just announce a new vehicle that is actually a lower cost electric vehicle. So at least they're going to try to introduce something in the US.
They've just begun shipping their $35,000 Blazer or Equinox or something. But they may. I don't believe anyone's plans to release a low-cost EV until it happens, because usually they don't happen. September sales fall at Kia Hyundai. U.S. new vehicle sales are expected to drop in September and the Q3. Analysts expect volatility for the rest of the year. Now, I'll remind you, on Wednesday, we discovered that Tesla narrowly beat Wall Street consensus projections for deliveries. And it was up year over year. James Stevenson at I cannot underscore enough shared a graph that showed year over year sales, and it's up, which is kind of what we needed to see. And the last big one I'll share here, Europe's biggest automaker is in decline. Volkswagen issues second profit warning due to weak demand and fading relevance in China.
Yeah, the scary part about this was the second profit warning in 3 months. And so they had already done a profit warning 3 months ago. And then all of a sudden they have to do another one. And so what's going on? What is it that they just learned in the last 3 months that they go, oh, I got to do another profit warning? Whoa. You know what I mean? It's like, what is it? 3 months? Or did you lie in first or something major? It's like they're discovering, like, this sometimes when things happen, it's like an escalation of just crashing.
Well, there was a chart that you had showed on a show that you and I did that showed just how precipitously the fall of Volkswagen, Nissan, and GM has been in China over the last 10 years, but really over the first half of this 2024. And it's, I think that fall caught them off guard. If you'd have asked me to predict how much their sales could move, that would have been outside of the range I would have anticipated by a lot.
Yep, that's right.
So I guess the takeaway is, if you want to survive in the new era of car making, you need to make new era cars, and you need to give the consumer what they actually want. You don't tell them what they want. Give them what they want. And when I say give, I mean sell, but not at, a cajillion dollars.
Yeah, if you go back to your originals, this great list that we just covered here, the car companies that are doing well are the ones in China. And you look at the numbers that they're selling per month, right? We're talking 50,000, 20,000, 30,000 a month, right? That is healthy, because once you get to 50, 500,000 per year, or 200 or 300,000 per year of sales of your cars, your vehicles, that's when you call scale. And once you get to that scale, you hit that bump, that's when you can start getting profitability. The problem with these automakers in the US and the German ones is they kind of started to scale, and then they got hit with their financials. They had to pull back that scale. So now they're in big trouble. How do you get to 200,000 of units sold of your cars when you've just pulled back your battery commitments, your factory commitments, your EV forecasts? And it's unfortunate that they made that decision, but partly I think that they had no choice. That's the thing about legacy companies who have an existing business that is delivering profit to them. And then there's this thing that they know EVs is the future, but they can't make it profitable. And so what do? Oh, can't do it. That's a death knell. It's over.
Can I tell you what it reminds me of? Sears.
Yeah.
We had this model that worked for 100 years, but now we've got these stores that cost too much to keep, and we're trying to do markups just to get by that no one is willing to pay. And they did not know how to transition into anything except bankruptcy, which they did very well. So guys, thanks for hanging out with us. In the comments, what did we miss? What did we misunderstand? I'm sure it was a thing or two, perhaps even about a thing or two. Head on over to Brighter with Herbert. See what he's up to. He does some fantastic shows. He gets some amazing guests, and his insights are so good that I keep inviting him back. Everybody else, like, subscribe, do the usual, and stay tuned, stay juicy, and I cannot wait to hear from you clever robots in a Chinese EV. Probably not.